Yo, what is up guys, my name's Hakiii, and in this video we're gonna take a look at the coolest vehicle interiors we have in GTA Online. One of the biggest disappointments in GTA 5 is that a lot of vehicle interiors are super boring and a lot of the same stuff, but in this video I'm gonna show you most, if not all, of the actual cool interiors we have to look at in GTA Online. You know what, this wasn't even supposed to be on the list, but the Caravan actually has a pretty decent interior, but if you look at the side doors, what in the world is that pixelated like 240p resolution? I mean, that's just absolutely criminal. You know what? We're gonna cancel this one. Let's move on to an actual really nice interior that's gonna be on the Stafford. Now, the Stafford, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful vehicles we have in GTA 5 as a whole. Both the exterior and the interior of this thing. The outside of it is super royal and classic, and then the inside of it is also pretty detailed. The dash is all wooden and some of the doors as well. The steering wheel also fits it very well, and honestly, I absolutely love this interior. There's also a super unique rear view mirror, as you can see in the middle right there. Usually the mirrors would be on the top, of course, but I guess with classic cars they can be on the dash itself. Really cool touch right there, even though it's a bit blurry. So I mean, this game isn't advanced enough for us to actually see clearly in the mirrors. Classic cars are actually some of my favorite cars in this entire game, and a lot of them have really nice interiors. Holy crap, this next one might be kind of unexpected for a lot of people. That's gonna be the Journey 2. I guess you can also include the regular Journey in this one, but how can I actually take a look at the back of this thing? Because the front of it is nothing special, but if you look in the back, there's actually a little bed in the back that's extremely unique. You'd never really see that with any other vehicle. If you haven't used the Journey before, it is literally the most unstable vehicle ever in GTA Online. If you go from side to side while pressing gas, it's literally gonna do like a two-wheel wheelie from side to side. It's actually ridiculous. Here we are standing inside of this vehicle. Let me go in first person. So for one thing, there's a whole bed in here, also a dishwasher or something like that inside of there as well. Super unique back of this vehicle, but the front of it is nothing special. Then we have the Vigilante. Now, of course, this is going to be a super unique interior, unlike any other car in the game. It's got a bunch of radars and screens on the inside, very fitting to the whole Batmobile vibe. Also a ton of buttons, as you can see in the middle there. So decked out interior, decked out dash on this thing, and besides that, nothing too special. I mean, it's kind of like being inside of a rock. Then we have the Peyote gasser. This is actually pretty much the same interior on any type of Peyote. It could be one off the street, but as you can see, it's got a super unique speedometer. Also, the fuel meter is pretty unique, and the temperature and everything, very retro style. I also really like the radio in the middle right there. Not a whole lot going on in this interior, but honestly, it's still one of my favorites. A little bit more detail would have probably made it like the best in the game. Switching it up a little bit and going for something a bit more modern. So any one of the police cars, of course, are going to have a pretty unique interior. We have a bunch of different technology on the inside, like a whole laptop, for example. A lot of people don't know this, but right beside you, you have a pair of shotguns, which is actually ridiculous. I don't know if it's like that in real life, but literally just if we turn our heads to the right, we see two freaking shotguns right next to us. I want to say the other police cars' interiors are pretty similar to this one. Not a huge difference, but personally, I really like the Gauntlet Interceptor, both from the outside and the inside. Next one's a vehicle that no one talks about, I feel like. This is the Viseris. One of the cooler looking vehicles in the game, honestly. You can see the engine in the back of this thing. The exhaust looks sick. And the interior is also a relatively cool one. So we got some sporty looking seats, a really nice Lampadati logo in front of the passenger seat, a bunch of different green and red buttons, which is pretty interesting, and then some details in the middle. I wish the steering wheel would be a little bit cooler. I mean, my legs are kind of going through it right now, which is kind of crazy. Still really like this one. I really like this car overall, I should say. The inside of the YY Classic is also very interesting. It has a wooden steering wheel, wooden dash. I want to move my arm just so I can see it a little bit better, but there's also some details in the middle of this thing. I really like interiors with a hybrid of both wood and also some leather or just a paint job. Anyway, let's move on to another one. The Yuga Classic is another very interesting vehicle with a very interesting interior. Let me actually open all the doors so we can see it on the outside. A big set of speakers, and then also some nice spots to sit as well. This goes for pretty much all Benny's upgradable vehicles. A lot of them have crazy options for speakers on the inside. The dash is kind of boring, but the steering wheel is cool, and the back of this thing is super cool in my opinion. I'll give an honorable mention to the Moonbeam Custom. It's also a Benny's upgradable van like this, and it also has a ton of speakers inside. The zebra pattern is also a really nice nice touch. Another vehicle in Secret Gold is the Dominator GTT. It has a super cool looking interior. As I said, I really like the hybrids of both wooden and paint job interiors. I like the dash of this thing, and besides the wooden part, you can change the entire color of the inside, both on the seats and on the doors, on top of the dash and everything. No one really talks about the Dominator GTT, but honestly, it does have this going for it. Continuing with really nice classic cars, we're gonna move on to the Roosevelt Velour. Honestly, one of the coolest looking exteriors and interiors in the entire game. Kind of saving the best for last year, honestly, but the inside of this place is super wooden. The theme of this inside works perfectly with the outside of this vehicle, considering this is a super old car. I believe from like the 1920s or 1930s, something like that. We have not one, but two rear view mirrors on this thing, kind of on the side, on the outside though. Not something you see with the vast majority of vehicles in GTA Online, because most vehicles aren't from like the 1920s like this one. Highly recommend this car. It's probably one of the coolest things I've ever owned in GTA Online. I don't know if we've covered a supercar in this video yet, but we have to go over at least one. So we have the LM87. Now already we can tell what's unique about this vehicle. It's literally a one-seater supercar. If we go in first person, this is one of the most unique interiors ever. I don't know what kind of supercar this is, but there's so much on the inside of this thing, and the fact that you literally sit in the dead middle of this car is actually a really unique feature. I don't know if any other car in the game has that, at least a supercar, because obviously there's a lot of fictional cars in this game. Let me know if there's any cars you think I missed in this video. I'll be happy to check down below in the comment section. Big thank you to all the channel members up on the screen right now. If you want to become one, press the join button, or the link is down below in the description. And if you like this video, chances are you're gonna like the video on the screen right now. I hope you all enjoy that one, and peace.